Bet horse racing on DRF Bets. We'll match your first deposit of $200. Get free expert picks and past performances, plus weekly cash back. All from Daily Racing Form, the most trusted name in horse racing. Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beard. 2 stakes races on tap for 3-year-olds on turf at Gulfstream Park. We'll begin with the Colts division. Race number 7 is the Dania Beach. Let's take a look at this field. We're going a mile. $100,000 is the purse. Major Dude, the number 2. Your 8-5 morning line favorite. This horse won the Grade 2 Pilgrim last year for Todd Pletcher, and a tough post last time out in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf.
Yeah, had a little bit of a tough post in a way tougher field as well. I thought he actually worked out a pretty good trip in there, Dan, but he also ran fine. I don't know. I guess he's the horse to beat in here.
I don't know what to make of this pace projector. We'll throw it up right now because you're supposed to handicap the pace projector. And when I handicapped it, I disagreed. I don't see a situation where the 7 Worthington is on the lead at all. I can see Bartzini being up close. I don't see Major Dude being up close or as on the lead. I can see Candidate, the one, though, trying to get out fast. I think Barzini's going to go. I think he'll make the front.
Yeah, I'm not sure that this is going to be a fast pace either. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Barzini probably goes just because he's stretching out here. I also feel like the number 3, Cheerful Charlie, is just going to go forward in this race. He's got enough speed to be up there. I don't think he's good enough to beat this field, but I'd be surprised if they tried to rate him.
But if I had to pick it, it would be Bartzini up front, Candidate and Cheerful Charlie maybe in the second flight with Major Dude and Worthington just off of them. Let's start things off with Candidate, a perfect 2 for 2 on grass for trainer Arnaud Delacour. This is the first start against winners at Tampa Bay Downs, going a mile and a 16th. It was not a fast-paced race. This horse got a little bit of a breather on the backstretch, but I like the way he strides on in the stretch to win very, very easily. It just seems like this horse is coming to hand at the right time. Now we'll see what he can do against better horses.
I really don't have anything to add to that, Dan. This horse has run twice on turf. I think he's run really well in both of those races. Did he have tough trips either time? No, he didn't. He's had actually really good trips. But to me, this horse looks like he can really run. And especially in that last one, because I feel like the horse wanted to go to the lead last time and the rider didn't. So they took a hold of him. And I just like the way that he settled on the backstretch and then still kicked really hard. I like this horse. I think he has a chance to be really good.
And a good trip likely coming from just off of the pace. Major Dude is the morning line favorite for Pletcher and Arad Ortiz. This horse did win the Pilgrim over a very wet turf course 2 starts back. I thought he got a good trip in that race. I also thought he was very, very game to rebuff the challenge of the odds-on favorite in the stretch. You talked about it in the Breeders' Cup, Mike. Yes, he was wide, but all things considering from post 13, I thought the trip worked out very well. It's not like he was in the parking lot. Those horses were just a little bit better than he is. He obviously fits well here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. This is just a really good spot for him. His Breeders' Cup, again, it was a fine performance. Sometimes when you get, a 3-wide trip around the track, and that's, to me, that's what he got. Sometimes that's a tough trip. I thought it wasn't a tough trip in that case. And I thought he did his best with it. He's just not good enough to beat a field like that one. But he tried really hard. He's a really professional horse. He's going to get a good trip in this race. And maybe he's just better than these horses. I don't know how short a price I would want on him.
Trying turf for the first time is the 3, Cheerful Charlie, who's run very well over the Tapeta surface at Gulfstream Park. Case in point, his most recent race in a first-level allowance, going a mile and 70 yards. Here's Cheerful Charlie, who got up close to glacial fractions, 25.50 and 2:1:15. No wonder he had plenty to kick on home with. This race was run in sort of the manner of a turf race, Mike. Slow early, sped up late.
Yeah, that's true. He's been in a couple of slower paced races recently. His 3 starts prior to that were all faster paced races, including the Armed Forces, Dan, where he made an early move into a fast pace and just got nailed. He ran really well that day. I guess if you like him in here, you like him because he's going to be a price, and then you just have to hope that he takes a huge step forward on turf. And I didn't see the pedigree for him to do that.
I'm very interested in the number 4, Congruent, the son of Tappet, that won the off-the-turf Laurel Futurity 3 starts back after a very good trip and ride from Feargal Lynch. They ran this horse in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Listen, that spot was just way too tough for him, and it's likely the wrong surface. He is really bred to handle turf. They ran him last time out in the Pulpit, and this was a race, Mike, where he was very eager and wanted to go in the first turn, kind of was steadied in between horses, and then They just let this odds-on favorite walk the first quarter in 24-2. Congruent, once he does get to the outside here, he's trying hard to run third. I think he might get a much better setup in this spot.
Yeah, I won't disagree with any of that, Dan. I'm very conflicted about what to do with this horse. Like you, I really liked his Laurel Futurity. And I think he is a horse who's bred to be better on turf. The real issue I have with him is I really liked him in the pulpit and I bet him that day. And I know that he had a little trouble into the first turn. I didn't think he ran that great afterwards. Maybe he'll take a step forward here. I don't want to totally dismiss his chances. I'm a little sour on him after losing money last time.
Barzini, perfect 2-for-2 since switching to turf for trainer Michael Trombetta. This will be his first time to stretch his legs around a distance of ground. Let's watch Barzini's last race. First level allowance going 5/8. He's down towards the inside here, and he's going to get to the outside at a key juncture. I thought all in all he did some running in here. He was up close to the pace. He ended up in behind horses. He gets to the outside, and he's still able to run them down. We expect him to be up close, if not outright on the lead. I like how he finishes this race off. He has some ability.
I agree. He was good in that race, I thought. Doing it from off the pace. He was good winning his turf debut right on the lead. He always had something in hand in that spot and won very convincingly. I do think he has talent. I don't think he's stretching out in the toughest race in the world. So I won't be surprised if he takes a step forward and is really competitive here.
There is a stranger in this race, invading from overseas. The number 6 is Suzak. This is a horse who's won his last 3 races against lesser company in France. He did beat one next out winner last time out. Since his last race, he's been purchased for $392,000 at public auction, given to Graham Motion. Motion mentioned in the DRF race advance from Mike Welsh. He was thinking of running this horse in the Breeders' Cup. The horse got sick, missed a little bit of time. If the pace is fast, I could certainly see him running at the end. I thought he had a good trip last time out, nice tactical pocket journey, but once he split horses, he finished it off.
I agreed. I thought he ran well last time with a good trip, but I like the move that he made to split horses to the lead, opened up and held on in there. Really liked his win 2 starts back where they just sat last with him under a big hold, and he came with a really strong finish to close that race down. I don't know. The margins of victory recently aren't that big. I think he's run well in all of those races.
I caught his workout on December the 23rd on XBTV. He was working with an older horse that Motion has now that was running overseas, sort of a group type, and he kept up very well, despite being a little bit late to change leads. Joel Rosario aboard. And completing the field is the number 7, Worthington, going out for trainer Mike Maker. This horse did some good things in his 3rd lifetime start, first time against winners. 3-wide tracking trip, a little bit green in the stretch, drifting in and changing to his left lead, but always seemed to have that race well in control. He's lightly raced. He has a ton of upside potential. I think he'll be rated here and come with a run.
I think all those things are true, Dan. He's run fine, winning his last 2 starts. I don't really have any knocks on him. To me, he's gotten really good trips in those races, but he's also, run fine. His figures are competitive. He makes plenty of sense in this race. He's just another horse in here who I think he's okay. I just didn't really want a short price on him.
Top pick time for the first of 2 stakes races on turf for 3-year-olds at Gulfstream on Saturday. We'll both go with Graham Motion's first-time import, the number 6, Suzak. Always concerns with these Euros. How are they going to get out of the gate? How are they going to deal with faster-paced races? And for this one, how is he going to deal with a firmer turf course? Because it was pretty wet last time.
Yeah, those things are all concerns, I suppose. I still think this is a good spot for him. I guess he's just going to have to deal with the 2 and the 7. Who are the 2 favorites, but personally, I'm just not really afraid of those 2 horses, Dan. I want to take a shots against them as the favorites. I like the 1 and the 6.
I'm using Congruent as well as the 6 Suzak in my multiple race wagers. This is the first leg of a 50-cent pick 5, but we'll see how Suzak responds to his first taste of racing in North America. He's our top selection in the Dania Beach. Best of luck.